The Canadian Whiskytube Blending Challenge Blind Tasting, WhiskyWhistle style. Hey people, Mark here from WhiskyWhistle on YouTube, sharing a little whiskey awesomeness in Winnipeg, the center of North America, bringing you the Blending Challenge blind tasting here on WhiskyWhistle. Now, I am one of 6 of these Canadian whiskey tubers. There are a few more. Maybe they'll join next time. And on this particular blind tasting, we have, well, these are the 5 people other than me that are in the blind tasting, and that is Rob from Whiskey in the Six.
This is Whiskey in the Six. I'm Rob.
And then we have Swami from Malted in Montreal.
This is Swami Suave. Welcome to Malted in Montreal.
Then we have Vito from Cask Strength.
Vito here from Cask Strength.
Jeremy from Sippers Social Club.
The Sippers Social Club. I'm Jeremy.
And Trenny C from, well, Trenny C.
Trenny C here.
Now, let's get these poured, and it's going to be blind. So what I've done is, on the bottom, each one has an identical looking, that's the sticky part of a Post-it note. And what I've done is I've written on the sticky side the letter of the channel. For example, M for Malted in Montreal, 6 for Whiskey in the Six. And I folded it over so I can't see it. And can't see it inside the glass, can't see it outside the glass. So as soon as I pour it, I'll do the old presto changeo, the old 3 shells, whatever that's called. And we'll go like that and mix them all up until I don't know which is which. Then we'll go through the tasting and then I'll rank them. All right. So let's get started. Let's do a bit of pouring. Now, if you didn't catch it, by the way, I did my own blending video, which was the previous video to this one, in which I told you what was in my blend, and my blend has gone to each of these fellas, and they are doing the same thing, a blind tasting, showcasing all of these. Now, I'm not sure where I'll be in the release, but probably some people have come before me, and there'll be at least 1 or 2 after me, unless I happen to be the tiebreaker. So we'll find out. And I apologize to these guys because I'm a bit late. I had this done last weekend, but I had a terrible cold, and the result was awful. So anyway, let's get this poured, and we'll get started. And last comment about my own blend, I have 2 samples of WhiskyWhistle Mark I blend called Waxy Fruit, 47.2%. And you can check out that video to find out how you, if you're in Winnipeg or somewhere in the world, how you can win one of those. All right, so let's pour Rob's. Thank God I didn't finish them all. So let's get these all mixed up. And I'm going to put those over here. So let's mix those up until I don't know which is which. Let's get started, okay? So I'm going to start from the right, that maybe that's your left, over this way, and then we'll do it a couple times. I'll try to get down to the top 3. I'll taste them one more time, and then we'll pick a winner, and I'll rank them all from 1st to 5th, and then we'll open up the little Post-it note and figure out whose it is. All right, let's get started. Okay, so the first one. This one has a little bit of sherry, a little bit of bourbon too, I believe. Bourbon cask, bourbon matured. I quite like that. Okay, I'm getting a little bit of sherry. I think a lot of actually ex-bourbon matured whiskey as well. I'm pretty sure that's all single malt. There could be some Irish in there. I'm smelling something old. And in fact, this may have a little bit of Johnny Walker in there. And if I'm right, I'm thinking that might be Jeremy's. Very interesting nose. Should we smell the noses first? All right, that's what I'll do. Just very briefly. Okay, the second one. Now, this one does not really smell like single malt at all. I'm getting mint, a peppery note. This smells like rye, actually, Canadian rye. I have a feeling that this one is maybe got some Lot 40 in there. It smells like it's all rye. Interesting. I'm guessing. I'm gonna guess that is Trenny C's, but who knows? Okay, now we're getting into some peat here. This one smells like Highland peat. Highland, well, I guess it's hard to say. Is it Isla? Anyway, it's got a nice peaty nose to it. There's kind of a dusty note to it as well. Okay, on to number 4. Ooh, definite sherry here. Maybe a touch of peat. But some really, really dark sherry, and I think some older sherry as well. Okay, and number 5. Again, we got some peat here. It smells like peat and sweet, which is nice. All right, so those are the noses. They all smell quite nice. I couldn't pick any favorites right now. According to the nose, every one of these gentlemen did a very good job of blending. So let's get on to the tasting. I'll taste them, then I'll have a bit of coffee and a little bit of water, and then we'll get on to the next one. And after my first tasting, I'll choose my top 3. I'll taste them, the 3 again, and I'll pick my first, second, and third. Then I'll taste number 4 and 5, and I'll pick number 4 and 5. All right. Okay, the palate. Cheers. Cheers, guys. It's a lot of fun. Actually, the peat is coming in on the palate here. Not a lot of peat on the nose. It's nice. It's quite a bit peppery. The peat is mildish. Something like around the level of Beaumont or Macrimur, say 20 to 30 ppm. I do like that. On to number 2. Wonder whose this is. Yeah, it's that rye. Okay, cheers. Big rye here. I think it's all lot 40. It might have some older Canadian club in there, like the 40-year-old maybe. Well, that'll stand out because it's so different. Okay. On to number 3. So far, I think I like number 2 better than number 1. Here we have this peat. Now, it's a very warming peat. Again, it's hard to tell whether that is Isla or whether it is Highland or Campbellton. Of course, a lot of them use peat from the same source these days, so it's really hard to get a sense of where that peat is from. Okay. Cheers. Very, very dry. Peppery. Something slightly minty in there. Not sure whether I like number 1 or number 3 better. I'll have to try those again. All right, let's get on to number 4. Now this one's clearly the darkest, and I can't recall. I noticed when it was poured out, but I have no idea whose that was. But it sure has a lot of sherry in there, and it's quite dark, as you can see. Okay, cheers. Very, very sherried. I don't really get any peat there on the palate. It might be a blend of all the different sherried styles, like let's say Aberlour and Glendronach, Glengoyne. Ben Riach. And it seems like it's a mix of good ages. The ABV seems maybe around 50%. 48, 50. I really like that. That's very nice. And I think that's definitely one of my top 3. All right, let's get on to number 5, the last one. Whose will that be? I think I need more water. Bear with me. Sorry. Now, it's certainly not easy to do this all at once in a single sitting in a short period of time. Even when I give my final scores and pick the winners, just keep in mind that it is an overload to the senses. And the results could be different after sitting with that blend from that person for a longer time over multiple tastings. Yep, again, a nice peaty one. That's certainly very, very nice as well. Now, because I have 3 peaty styles, I want to try just the peats again. I believe that was 1, 3, 1, 3, and 5, I think. What was it? Yep. 1, 3, and 5 here. And I want to compare those peated blends by themselves. Now, this one for sure is going to be one of my top 3. So I'll put that up in the front. Okay, and let's have a look at number 1 again. Very subtle, fresh nose. Again, ex-bourbon oak seems to come to mind. A hint of sherry. This one is slightly peppery, sweet, a bit savory. Not especially bacon type flavors, but more like wood smoke, bonfire type of peat. Age-wise, it's really hard to say. I'm going to put the average age of this whiskey at somewhere between 12 and 15 years old. I do like that. Let me go on to number 3. Take my coffee. Now I've got a bunch of recordings, by the way. And I'm going to try to do at least 2 more recordings tonight. So I should have a good bank of videos to come out very soon. And then once we have all of these gentlemen, all of their blind tastings posted, then we're going to have a live stream hosted by, I think, one of the boys in Ontario. And that'll be great to watch. So stay tuned. Once that is set, hopefully we'll get the time set straight off, get the link made so that we can maybe put that link in our videos. That would be great. Okay, let's try that number 3 peaty style. This one's very peaty on the nose. Again, not especially briny or Band-Aid like, This reminds me more of things like Longro and Balakin, Macrimoor, Ardmore, the Highland and Campbellton and Isle of Mull, Lecheg, this type of peat. Okay. Very nice nose. This one's a bit minty. This one's a little bit more, as expected, kind of sweet, peaty, multiple cask type of peat. Number 5. Number 5 is somewhere in between on the nose. Okay, I think I tasted that one already, right? Yeah, seems nicely aged. Number 3, cheers again. Number 3 is a little bit sharp on the palate. Try that one more time. A tiny sip. Very bitey. Seems nice, but seems quite a bit younger than the others. So I am going to put that into the 4 to 5th range. That's number 3. On to number 5. Coffee, of course, to balance the palate. Water, of course, to wash away the coffee. It's not an exact science, but it is a good way to kind of balance your palate before trying a different whiskey, especially if they're similar in styles. Okay, number 5, the last tasting before we pick the top 3. One of which has already been picked. That's number 3. That was number 3. That was number 4. Yeah, that was number 4. That was right there. That was number 3. That's right. Okay. Somewhere in between on the nose. I do like that. And let's check that with number 1 just to compare. Number 1's got that minty type of a hit to it. All right, cheers. Really interesting. Nice range of flavors, but yet again, this one comes off a little bit younger. It's a little bit feisty, a little bit angry. So that's going to be relegated to the 4th to 5th spot. Okay. All right, so now we have our top three. And we'll get into the, the final tasting round. Actually, I'll do the 4 to 5 first. Okay, let's see here. Nice nose. These are very similar in style. I think I like this nose better. Okay, let's try that one. All right. So, this one, which was number 5, that's going to be the 4th place. Congratulations. And the consolation prize, number 5, 5th place overall, is going to be, that's number 3, I believe. Okay, put those in order there. Okay, let's get on to the final round, and then I'll unveil who is who, okay? Let's do it. Are you excited? I am. Let my palate kind of settle here. Now, I'm going to be showcasing another sample review soon, and I'll be recording that tonight. And I'll also be recording 2 brewers release 14. This just came out sometime mid-April, I believe. And this one uses, I think, chocolate malt, some heavily roasted malts. So that'll be interesting. This one's Anok, actually. And a very interesting cask. So stay tuned and make sure you watch for those. All right. Let's get into the final tasting round. These are 3 very different whiskeys. One is a peated style. One is rye, a Canadian rye style. And the third is a sherried style. So let's try them and see who wins. I think I'll leave the peat to last. Let's start in this order. The sherry notes are just jumping out of the glass, and it's also very, very, very fudgy, very caramelly. This has an insanely huge nose. Okay, cheers. There still might be a hint of peat in there, I'm not sure. Or one of those sherried single malts might already have a little bit of peat in there. I feel like I'm tasting a lot of Glendronach, and I feel like I'm tasting some Aberlour. Maybe a bit of Glengoyne, as I mentioned. Could be some Ben Riach in there as well. This could be just a super blend of sherried whiskeys. And whoever did that one, as I mentioned in my last review, you have to kind of think of your end point. What is your goal with your blend? Do you want to have a narrow band of tastes, so like with like? Or do you want to have a broad band and you're kind of rolling the dice and hoping that there's a little bit of alchemy going on and interesting new flavors developing that didn't even exist in the constituent malts beforehand? And whoever did this one chose a narrow band, and it does work very well. I would buy that for sure. Okay, on to the next one. I think I can just have a bit of water because it's so different. Again, a beautiful selection of rye, Canadian rye whiskeys. I don't think there's American rye in there. I would be shocked if there were. And I feel like I'm tasting some Lot 40 and some Canadian Club. There could also be Pike Creek or Gooderham and Worts. In fact, I'm getting a bit of French oak something going on there. So I wonder if this is in there. Is it? I wonder. It might not be. Hard to say. Very nice. You can tell it's older rye because it doesn't really have that sharpness to it, and the nose also is very mature. I'm not getting the raw almondine type of a nose that you often get with underaged whiskey. Now, that's not always the case, but maybe I would say it's a general rule that if you're smelling very, very strong almondine-like notes, you're probably looking at a very young whiskey there. So keep that in mind. You may like that. In that case, have at her. Just go on and enjoy some nice younger whiskeys. There's lots of them. But make sure you try some older ones too and figure out, are you a person that likes older whiskeys or are you a person that likes younger? All right, now this one as well also did, as I mentioned, the like with like blending style, blending like with like, and it works very nicely and very enjoyable. A good range of ages there, I believe, for rye, Canadian rye. All right, the last and final. And a big cheers to everybody who's watching. Cheers all. Thanks a lot. And make sure you check out everybody else's channel. Again, it's got this bit of peat and a bit of something minty in there, which is really, really interesting. It's a very nice blend with a good range of ages again. As I mentioned, I think this is roughly 12 to 15 years average. The peat is milder, but you can notice the peat a little bit in the nose, definitely in the palate, and throughout the finish as well. It definitely has kick to it, but it's not sharp. And it is sufficiently mature whiskey that's been put into this blend. And also the person who blended this took care, again, to think about what their final destination would be. And this person chose, I believe, the opposites blending method, choosing a variety of different things to try and make something that's different from how it began in each of those whiskeys. And they did a very good job of that. And I think the average ABV here we're looking at is about 45, 46. Not too strong. Tastes very nice. What is that minty note? This is so hard. So hard. Okay, I'm ready to pick third place. Third place, which I'll put over here, is going to be this rye, Canadian rye blend. I'm still not ready to pick number one. Okay, it's a battle. These are very close for me. This interesting, engaging nose. It's a subtle nose. This one has a big, big nose. Big sherry. Anyway. Beautiful. This was much higher ABV. And extremely dry, slightly to a fault, but it really envelops the mouth very nicely. And I think I'm going to have to use a little bit of water to choose my final choice couple of drops in each. Oh yeah, that's really potent. Wow, wow. Okay, now before I finish up with that, have you done any blending at home? Some home blending? Not an infinity bottle and not a Solera, but just try to make your own recipe of something that for you represents sort of like the pinnacle of flavors for you. Now that's what I did for my choice of whiskeys that went into WhiskyWhistle Mark 1, the waxy fruit. And it really represents, I guess, my favorite style of whiskey. And of course there's a little bit of variation there, but there's sort of a general direction. And there is a bit of peat in there. There is a little bit of sherry in there. But there's a whole lot of ex-bourbon matured, first fill ex-bourbon matured in there. And there's a good range of ages. And I like young, I like old. So for me, that was how I decided to blend. Okay, now let me just make my final choice here. A little bit of water was added. With water added, the nose really dampens here. And the palate doesn't really change much. Slightly more peppery. Still very nice. Well, this is it. This is the winner. This is the winner for me. That was number 1 in the Shell Game mixed up choices. That was the first. I'll use these. My challenge coins. So that gets to be hoisted up a little bit. And this is number 2. Okay. And this is number 3. This is number 4. And this is number 5. There we go. We're almost done. Now let's check them out. Let's check out what the number 5, my 5th favorite, still excellent, delicious whiskey, well done. Let's see who that is. All right. And that is M. Can you see the M there? M for Malted Montreal. Swami, very delicious. I really like it. It just was a little out outshone by everybody else. And I love what you're doing with that blend, and I'm looking forward to the next time we do this. Maybe that's going to be next year, and we'll try that again. And I think you can definitely contend for the winner next year. Okay, so that is Malted in Montreal. Yay! All right, on to number 4. Okay, so let's check that number 4. What's number 4 going to be? Oh, wow. Okay, number 4 is Whiskey in the 6. All right. So Rob's is my number 4. So that is the way things go. Okay. Number 3. I think I know who this is. I believe that's Trenny C. Let's find out. T. Can you see that? All right. So Trenny C, number 3. Good job. Bronze medal. Don't know why I'm putting those there, but it looks kind of cool. Number 2. Who is this going to be? Now this is a very sherried blend and it was very nice. And that one is S for Sippers Social Club. Gets second place from WhiskyWhistle. Whoa. Okay, and last but not least, well, it should be easy to figure out who this is. And that is Cask Strength. Vito, well done, sir. I haven't interacted with you very much. I'm sure we will more in the future. Well done. That was very enjoyable. I wonder what that minty note was, and I can't wait to hear from you about that. Super. All right, well, let's congratulate Cask Strength. Well done. Very nice blend. I really enjoyed that, and they get the gold medal. Silver medal goes to Sippers Social Club. Well done. Bronze medal to Trenny C. Excellent job, guys. 4th place to Whiskey in the 6. Well done, Rob. And 5th place, but so close. I mean, they're all so close. We're talking like a couple of points. That might be, I don't know, 90 points, 89 points. And that might be 84, 85. They're so close. So Swami Malted in Montreal for number 5. Well done, gents. Hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget to subscribe to WhiskyWhistle. Hit the bell so you're notified of future Whiskey Whistles. Check me out on Patreon. Patreon.com/WhiskyWhistle. And if you're in Winnipeg, check out the Winnipeg WhiskyClub.com or on Facebook. And make sure you subscribe to all of these gents if you haven't already. Again, that is Cask Strength, Sippers Social Club, Trenny C, Whiskey in the 6, and Malted in Montreal. All right. Hope you enjoyed that. Make sure you check out their blind tastings, and we'll find out how I did. All right. Take care, everybody. We'll see you next time. Goodbye. Thanks for watching Whiskey Whistle. Be sure to subscribe, and don't forget to give this video a like and leave a comment down below. Be sure to stay tuned next time to join me, the host of the show, Mark, as I explore more whiskeys with you. Take care now, and we'll see you next time.